Thank you for tuning into The Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Morocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and the interdimensional seer. Together they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Five, and other extraterrestrial sources regarding many influences on our planet today. Our new format allows you to ask questions and hear the answers from the previous show. Post your question in the comment section below the YouTube video. Disclosures, insider intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on Disclosures. It has been an incredible past couple of weeks, and especially information from the ACIO or through Peter the Insider, who is going to be updating us with the latest information. And honestly, we really need to hear this information right now. Very stressful. There's lots and lots of things that we need to be focused on, so we can all come to a point of with the intention for the highest intention for humanity. So without further delay, here is Peter the Insider. Hello, Peter.
Hello. So I'm here, just less stressed and more calmed down, because I went through a lot of strange situation, and once I tell you that it's strange, that it's really strange.
It is really strange. I mean, it's kind of something that, like, it's very hard. I mean, it was hard for me to fathom some of the experiences that you were going through, and you had communicated with me this whole time. I don't know if you want to begin with discussing your experience, or do you want to talk about an update on the coronavirus?
Technically, we should talk about the stuff what's the most important, and that's the thing that COVID-19, what is another code name for coronavirus, it's not original situation from the actual context existence, but it's only bleed-through from another context of existence when where and when situation of coronavirus went terribly wrong, and that was technically the zombie apocalypse situation that come true, and that was the stuff. And of course, try to guess. Umbrella Corporation, they caused all the mess, and everything went wrong, and all kind of those things. So that was a lot of intense, and I'm kind of wondering that even less in actual, and at those days when we are recording that, less than 80,000 people died only, and the stuff that only less than 3% of people, infected people, are dying. That's pretty much good numbers. Those are good numbers, believe it or not, but that's true. And I mean, why I am talking about COVID, the stuff is that the bleed-throughs started few weeks ago, and I don't know if those people will be able, or those entities maybe, if they will be able to comprehend what they did, you know.
This is, you're talking about the Umbrella Group, because also Mobius is involved here.
Umbrella, Umbrella. Yes, you are right.
Yeah, but Mobius is also involved.
Yeah, of course. Mobius is always involved once it is once we are talking about the Matrix and blah blah blah, you know. As I like to say blah blah blah, but you know, it's not some random ass stuff, but it's so common, you know, that it is only it went from important stuff to just some common and random stuff. I am talking about maintaining the matrix. Yep, like that.
So that you said Mobius is pretty much has been somewhat maintaining the matrix, even though it's for their own agendas. Or how would you describe their scenario? Because it's kind of weird that they've caused a lot of problems for us, but on the other hand, we were relying on them to maintain the matrix. And I know some people are probably even having a hard time thinking that this is, you know, a construct of existence.
Yeah. The stuff is that we need to talk about. Okay, matrix. It is nonsense. It is once he's talking about matrix, it's nonsense. It was only I mean TV. It was only a sci-fi movie 21, maybe 22 years ago, and all kind of those things. But that stuff, it is not movie only. It was some sort of soft disclosure. And the situation is that they've got, and that's the problem, okay? That matrix itself is not so complicated to, once you've got written some sort of levels, either levels or layers, call them however you like or want. But once you have written something like that, and it's freeware, if we want to call it that way, that means it's free to use, because as it is free to use. It is not so complicated. The stuff is it is not so complicated to maintain. What is problem, respectively, what will be the problem, the situation, what will happen after the whole layers, all the levels will be shut down, and it will fell only to the basis of the basic things. Let us call it construct. It was shown in Matrix as a pure blank, like nothing, only white of nothing. Yeah, and that's the stuff. Because and that's from my point of view, that's my main part of the story, respectively, story of the twistedness of people's mindset, that people are living, and they were living for many not millenniums, but thousands, but tens of thousands of years, that technically they've got their own belief system, but there is no I don't want to say there is no but alternative for this belief system, but it will be complicated to create acceptable what is like alternative for this belief system. That will be a challenge from my point of view. That will be a challenge.
Well,
Because
go ahead.
Because that's it. You know, like people, they didn't know that they didn't know technically, or they didn't knew that they didn't knew. It was simply good, nothing bad at all. You know, they've got their own, as I like to say, bubble universes, bubble matrices inside the matrix, and that was pretty much it for them. For them, like that.
Peter, are you familiar with the movie The 13th Floor?
No, why?
Well, because it relates to what you're talking about, in a sense that there's this laboratory, and these people they created, I don't know if it's in an alternate reality, another context of existence. They turned it into like the 1920s. And so they go into this space where they're laying down, they kind of tune into it and maybe step in through like an avatar body. Like it's human body, but they step into a body, right? And then they get to experience the reality.
What's the purpose? Because I think that technically no one wants to get out.
Well, the key is that at some point there's the person that goes into the reality is there's a few people that go into the reality from this original lab, and they start messing around in there, and it gets worse. It becomes a problem. And then one of the guys that lives in that reality is kind of like a bartender, and he's getting the information, but he's also from the lab too. He discovers that the existence is empty. Like if you drive down to a certain distance, that you find out that there's nothing left. But like yeah.
But that's pretty much it. Like it's very similar to astral forms of existence, and in limbo it's nothing.
Right. And so what I'm saying that the movie
So this is construct. This is construct.
Yeah, it's
this is technically very similar to that what we are talking about. It's nothing complicated, I think.
It's not. I mean, people have been exposed to that through TV shows. It's kind of like that horrible, scary moment, like in The Matrix, when you realize, like, wait a minute, what is holding this together? And you look and you see that it's like someone didn't finish the drawing. You know, the architecture is such a bare minimum that it fades off into nothing. And so it brings a reminder of our existence very quickly. Now, for those people that believe in this belief system that everything is God, and which, you know, there's divine energy, but it's this construct doesn't exist in their thinking.
No, construct exist, but they were not able to realize it yet, and that's it. Realize it yet, huh?
Yeah, I mean it's going to take a while for people to fully understand. Yeah.
Yeah, they simply didn't had opportunity to discover it, but I don't want to say that will be okay, because I don't know what will happen afterwards, but you know.
Yeah. And religion has pretty much formed a lot of thinking.
I don't think it is connected with religion. No, you are not right.
It's not as disconnected with religion, but religion
No,
doesn't
no,
include it.
definitely not religion. No, this is not about religion.
No, but religion doesn't include this thinking of that it's a construct, right? You see what I'm saying?
What? Because it's
Were we getting cut off?
maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I said the religion doesn't include the thinking that it's a construct. It doesn't bring it up. It brings up that the belief system is that there is a God of some sort, and then that is pretty much in control of everything, and it's like a one being type of.
But you know that you are, to be honest, you are absolutely wrong. And do you know why? I will tell you. Because people, they are religious, they are much more open-minded in the situation, into this situation, because people, they are into all over the place, into the science. They will definitely not accept that. No, they are unable to comprehend that.
But the religious people are the ones that don't like a lot of the stuff that we say in the show. I'm just going by the facts of what I've seen.
I don't know from which kind of religion, but I've got many people from many religions, and they are, don't want to say they are okay with that, but I'm talking about, no, I don't want to say in general. I'm talking about this exact situation. The whole matrix, okay? The whole matrix thing. Because for them, it is not Mobius, it's God. Okay? This is it what I'm trying to say.
I'm agreeing with that. That's what I'm saying.
But that's the thing. For it's much more easy. I will like to say that it's not, instead of Mobius it will be God.
I know, because it's kind of uncomfortable thinking about that people have it's a very uncomfortable.
But people from scientific circles, societies, no. It's bullshit for them. It's nonsense for them. No,
it's just the opposite. I've had them very responsive. So I don't understand. I mean, I guess from my experience, it's different than yours.
People from scientific circles, they absolutely don't believe that, because either for people they are no. Once again, I don't want to say everything what we said or we are claiming it's okay for religious people with any kind of religion. No. Once again, I am saying it only this exact thing about the matrix, okay? Only this exact thing, right? Only.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That for me or for us, it's not one person, or I don't know, whatever. I don't want to say person. Sorry, entity. Yeah. For us, it's Mobius and all kind of those behind story. But it is, and they have no problem to believe that there is some switch, and one switch will be turned to turn off. Everything will simply will get down. And people from scientific circles, no, this is nonsense. This will not work like that. Once you don't have proof, that's it. What I'm trying to say.
Well, I think. Yeah, you're right. But there's always someone that has a theory of some sort that's kind of on this thread or idea. So I know that a lot of people that I remember a few years back that I said something about, to a friend of mine who was very much into science, and I said there's parallel realities. And he said, no, it just doesn't exist. I don't believe it. And then, shortly after, I found a magazine that a scientist, figured out a calculation that would validate that there were parallel realities. And I said, well, what do you think about this article? So then it becomes okay because he saw it written down somewhere in a magazine. But when I said it, he immediately said, no, that's not true. But because I know about it because I could see it. And there are people that could see some of these constructs. They could see some of these things. And so it's easy for them to understand it. But if they're clouded with preconceived notions of whether it's from the science or the religious background or any background that closes the mind from considering another concept of what exists here. And so that's just being open-minded. So we could put aside then the idea of whether they're religious or science or whatever. I think it's the open-mindedness, maybe. What do you think, Peter? Do you think that could be the conclusion?
Yep, it can be. It can be. Yeah, it can be. But either the situation is, and that's so weird that of course they wasn't so bigot, that means so orthodox. They wasn't so orthodox, but people from they were believers in any kind of religion. It was easier to talk with them about all kind of the things, the topics we were discussing. Yeah, we discussed. Yeah. Then with skeptics from scientific circles, because for them believers, we ended up, I don't know, in Bible, Torah, Talmud, in Quran, I don't know, whatever, I don't know, Buddha scripts, whatever, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it was, it is like bipolar, but it wasn't like extremely, right? It was just, I've got the thing, that my God or whatever, this hierarchy, whatever, how it was created and all those rules and laws. Yeah. But they were at least, they at least want to talk about the things. But people from scientific, skeptics from scientific circles, Jesus, that was crazy. No way. No.
Well, there are people that are pretty much everything has to be proven that it doesn't exist. It's like
because
if you're coming from that.
Do you know why I think we are the same story? Because people, those believers, they believe, and they only believe. I don't want to say only believe because I don't want to offend them, but it is the stuff. It's either absolutely no goddamn chance to prove it, or extremely complicated to prove it. And I've got the same problem. My field, So maybe I think that that's something what is in common for our two groups, if you want to call it that way. But yes, with people, they are into science. Once you can't prove something, nah, it's no go for them.
Right, but it's very limiting. It's just another form of closed-mindedness, because even in the scientific world there were always some of those that would break through and have some brilliant idea or an awareness of something that exists that they were able to prove or calculate, and you still had the whole community of scientists fighting against them, like Galileo or so some of those, like.
But how many?
Yeah.
How many of them, Ma? How many? Do you know what I mean? How many? Those innovators, visionists.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
There's
How
not many. Not many.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
even
This is what
Einstein
I'm
had a hard
talking
time.
about. Less
Tesla had a time.
less than 1%, maybe 1/10
Yeah.
of percent. Yeah,
But we needed those people because those people helped open our eyes to that next level of awareness of our surroundings.
Yeah.
And the same thing, so I will compare the information that we're bringing in is similar to that, where we're introducing some information that typically people don't have exposure to, and an idea of how some of these things are working.
Yeah.
And we don't,
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
you're
You
not
are right.
Peter,
I just want to tell you something, because technically we are in such a situation. I mean, we want to talk about the COVID, and then what? What is the next topic?
That the context of existence is in serious serious circumstance right now.
Serious danger that Mobius is shutting it down, and we took control over. But the stuff is that it is not just like that. It is like you want to shut the nuclear power plant down. No, it is not just like that. Just red switch and bam and bye bye, end of story. No. So it is very complicated process, and we've got our people, of course, and every day in ACIO, and our people, I mean external, people, they respectively entities, they are helping us, but we don't know 100% yet what happened, in which kind of step they were once we take it over, the whole process. I mean the whole matrix situation. So I just want, that's the reason maybe you was kind of confused, right? Why I bring up the religion into the on the table, into the discussion. It's very easy. I want to tell you, because people from scientific circles know, they will like, screw it, it's nonsense, it's deep ass bullshit. No, but I will tell you something. We are in such situation that if you have any beliefs, if you are into any religion, if you are in Christian, if you are Hebrew, if you are Muslim, everything, if you are Buddhist, Hinduist, Sikh, if you are, I don't know, Shintoist, Taoist, pray and meditate. And do you know why? Because once you will not do it in those days, I don't want to say we will be screwed, but as I like to say, every single vote, every single every single force will help. And this is not like, haha, I am just kidding, or all kind of stuff. No, I mean it. I am taking it hella serious. You need to take it hella serious, right?
Right.
So that's it. Now we are in such serious situation, that now only hope will be technically it is not will be. It's our last thing, we can rely on, and that's the stuff. People outside our, circles, outside, what, religion circles, respectively, if you are not into religion, if you have your own belief system, okay, then go for it. But let save us. If you are listening all around the world, share this to any kind of mainstream social media all around the world, because this should be as widespread as it should be,
I agree, Peter.
Maybe you are surprised I'm talking to you, Jessica. Maybe you are surprised.
No.
But
no, I know what you went through in the past 2 weeks, and I wanted people to actually hear some of it, but out of respect to Peter, and it's a private conversation, this is the best way that we can do it, because there was something about the urgency of the state of what we're in right now.
Yeah, this is it. People, if you want help, then it's your turn. Right now is your turn to help. No, not me, not Jessica, no, not you personally. The whole context of existence, everything is in the stake right now. Believe it or not, bleed truths are all over the place. COVID-19, sorry. I don't know what it's like, for example, wildfires in Australia, and it's technically not only wildfires, the climate change in Australia. Then of course the climate change in southern part of US, especially Midwest of US. Then those very weird situations that people simply vanished through few hours in whole districts inside the small towns, but not only small towns, from cities all around the US, and no one wants to talk about it. Mainstream media, nothing. Everything is like, no, nothing like that happened. No, if someone posts, in YouTube, in Facebook, whatever, the posts are practically immediately deleted without any single warning. And the rangers, the huge land, everything was taken violently, and the federal government made those crazy as I like to say, but it is not I like to say, but it is very similar to extermination prison camps. They were, during Nazi era in Second World War, and they've got tons of coffins, tons of
Right.
coffins.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. For example, in Iran, they have death sentences, and do you know what they did? They did that. They deal with it in such way that people, they have the verdict is death sentence. No, they simply situated all the people infected with COVID, with coronavirus, into one prison. Bam, end of story. They will die. No healthcare. And it is very similar in US. In these big states like Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, those whole big wastelands, something like that. And people, they've got private choppers, I mean helicopters, either this or small aircrafts, and they fly above, They saw weird things, like, it was some sort of building the underground bases, the fresh new ones. That is crazy, and no one wants to talk about that. And do you know why? Because it's campaign for this year's president vote,
right,
in US.
mm-hmm.
And this is the main topic, what is going over and over again through all the mainstream media. And no one wants to talk about the real deal stuff. How is it possible that people in so many people, not thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people all over the US disappearing, and they simply nothing, like vanished without a trace. All kind of those things. They are bleachers. It's so weird.
We have a lot of listeners from Europe and other parts of the world too, Peter. Where are some of the other bleachers?
For example, how is it possible that it was monsoon in parts of India and Indochina, I'm talking like Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Myanmar, I mean, what it was, Burma, Vietnam, I mean like Siam, monsoons, absolutely no logic. In Brazil too, everything is twisted upside down.
Yeah.
Those are bleed roots. Those are bleed roots. Weird creatures appearing all around the world, but especially whales. Whales on the, for example, in former USSR states, but inland, this is nonsense. How? Whales?
What?
Whales.
Yeah. You mean just on the land? They're just there in the land?
Yeah.
Or in lakes or something?
No, land. People start to make either video footage or photos, and then after a few hours, the whale is inside the lake. And technically, this all happened because let's call it about Asia. Escape from Tarkov, it was very first, technically, this was very first serious playthrough. And then second serious playthrough is technically coronavirus, So everything started in Asia Midland. And do you know what is most ridiculous? Killer whales. So, they are very smart, hunting in packs, and they enjoy how we can call it, like martyring, infesting, torturing during during the hunt. You know, that all of this thing is like it is crazy. And people, how is it possible? No one is getting even small dot in, as I like to say, smallest dot in the newspaper, or I don't know, like web page that's written. No, nothing.
No, but they have, the information on the latest celebrity, but we don't have, information of what's actually happening in the world.
I'm just telling you. It is nonsense. Everything of this is absolutely nonsense. It's nonsense.
So Peter, so seeing like the whales and they're removing
everything
the video.
Everything is weird, but that's it. Whales, they can move. They are not dying. It is nonsense. It is bullshit. Whales should die once they are on the. Do you know what I mean?
On the land, away from water.
On the land. Or those elephants? How? Elephants, they was seen, observed with this huge cargo ship, and elephants, they were normal swimming. What? No, elephants should drown. No, nonsense. It's not right. Everything is twisted upside down.
So with your experience the past couple of weeks when we've been communicating, is in some
but
context...
once again, sorry, we will get into it. Okay. But this is it because
this is crazy,
we want to get. Give me a second. Give me a second. We will go into it. What I was experiencing, but I am telling you, not only you, but to all of our listeners, even regular or not, whatever, that this is nonsense. I mean, like those bleed truths or whatever. I don't know. Like for example, the yacht, yacht, and where it appeared. Yeah, the yacht, and it was quite a luxury yacht. It was like 100 yard on 110 yard. I don't know what it was like, older yacht, but those like very luxury yacht, and it appeared in Canada, just like out of nowhere, No, how? This is nonsense. No one knows. Nobody knows.
No, but they're not letting anyone know.
Yeah, that's it. Nobody knows. Because mainstream media, we don't want to write about it. No, we don't want to make the video footage about that. No, why?
Because they can't explain it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It appeared in Canada. It was like, and that's it. North Canada. So it was only snow, ice, nothing. Jeez, that's nonsense. How?
Wow.
Everything is twisted upside down. Everything is twisted upside down. Or those huge cargo what is it, truck, it is like more than 400 or 500 tons, it's like in the serving in big, very big mine, and it was simply no, I am not faking you. Normally driving on the surface. No, on the surface of the ocean. Yeah, that was it. But no one knows, because no one wants to talk or write about that. This 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 uh, this those elephants, they were um, observed in Pacific Ocean, and those huge cars, they were observed in Indian Ocean. So everything is upside down. How? This nonsense.
It does, yeah, but that's just the beginning, right?
Yeah. Subway. How subway train? How subway train can fly? No, no. Simply no. It's nonsense. No, it shouldn't fly.
Not in our reality. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Scientifically, no, it
yeah.
shouldn't exist. Right. Yeah.
But there is no single sign of informing about that. No. And those is, I mean, this, everything of this, and of course it gets emotional from my point of view, because no, I am very, and I will not watch my language, I am very pissed off at all the mainstream media that they don't want to inform about that. No, they simply don't. No. And that's it. That we will get to the next topic. That okay, those are symptoms, if you want to call it symptoms, call them symptoms of bleed roots. And now you can start, or maybe you will introduce the next topic. What is what are the roots of the bleed roots?
Right. I know that there's a thought that crosses my mind is, because we have our natural laws on the earth, and so we know that gravity exists, and then there's a lot of other laws that are happening, right? These are defying these laws. So does that mean that our laws have been changed, or something is just overriding it? How does that work?
No, good question. We don't know. They are simply what they are. Bleed roots, but we don't know yet. We don't figure it out yet. What does mean? What does mean? If those, because as I told, I don't know how many times, there are much big differences between timeline, reality, universe, megaverse, dimension, everything like that. Megaverse, and that's it. Now everything is so screwed that we can't talk about, because we can't differ that, that we are only, we stop talk about the whole thing. No, because it's such a huge mess, and we start to talk only about, we start to use only one thing, context of existence, and we don't know if those bleed truths are only trying to rewrite, to replace our, I don't know, whatever, natural laws, let's call them simply natural laws, or they are doing it, or they did that already. No, we have no goddamn clue, and I won't lie to people. No, I'm just telling people that we are trying to do our best to determine that. What's the status, actual status? Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, we're getting information, and I just want to remind people that the information that Peter provides it's not fully evident to everyone because a lot of the information is held back, and then it takes a little while before you start having more evidence of it. But we have witnessed this over and over again with the FAC, the Federal Army of Canada, or federal, yeah,
or maybe of
or
Commonwealth.
Commonwealth, and you were talking about the androids, and we had proof
And
of the
sorry,
androids.
yes,
Yeah.
but sorry for interrupting you. I don't mean to interrupt you, but do you know what is crazy is part of the crazy thing? I always thought, no, that is not good idea to Harry be with Meghan in the first place, and second place, they will be kicked out of the royal family.
Yes.
And they will get to the North America. Ha ha ha! But
You
no,
said
they.
that. You said that.
Yes,
yeah.
But no, they don't went to U.S. They settled in Canada. Ha ha ha!
Right. And you were talking about this stuff a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
It takes a while. So unfortunately, the stuff that we're talking about today is already existing. It's just that there'll be a point in time where the media cannot obstruct the information because it's coming in from so many different areas. But by that time, it's not too late, but it's getting too late. It's like we need action now before it gets to that point.
The support. We need the support. And once you maybe was like, haha, this is theatrical, or all kind of those things. No, I am not. I asked you for help because we are pretty much screwed. I mean, we will be pretty much screwed without your help. Your help.
It's the collective energy, right, Peter? You're talking about everyone sort of setting an intention of, how do we frame this intention? Like, we want to stop the bleed-throughs or stop whatever's happening here, or the matrix is fixed. Okay. Anything else that we should focus on?
I think that it's pretty much okay. But that's thing, because I told this, I don't know how many, 2-3 years, approximately 2-3 years ago, that they will be kicked out of the family and they will settle. Technically, they are altering either US or Canada, like that.
Yeah.
And then most people consider me as a fool. No, it's nonsense. It never happened. Something like that never happened. And then, bam, end of story. It's here.
Yeah, they haven't taken the information very serious. Not everyone. I mean, obviously we have people that are listening, but some of the information has not been taken very serious as it should have been. And so it goes to the next level. And so this is the problem, right, Peter?
Yes, absolutely. But is it? Is it like it is? Like my best evidence is time.
Yeah.
But okay, just start the next topic, because I don't want to say I don't know, but I don't know the exact name, the right name of it.
Okay, so I was reviewing some of our conversations. Of course, I have notes and reviewing what we were talking about. And could you describe some of these bleed-throughs, because you were actually went deeper into the construct to observe some things, and then you got to see the state of how everything was. What was going on?
The very weird thing was that we were in such a thing, I don't know, that everything, we were in a certain house, a very small house, maybe sometimes normal, sometimes it was like really big ass mansion, and it was inside, it was stable. Okay, why not? But once we were inside, and from the windows, it was extremely, it was like, that is hella intense, because those strips, I don't know, one strip was like, I don't know, from almost the Middle Ages. Another strip was, I don't know, like from the break of the 19th and 20th century. Then it was like, I don't know, from 1920s or whatever. Then it was like from normal time, 2010, 2015, something like that. And then it was like, whoa, why, you know, much in the future. And then we opened the house, I mean the main entrance to the house or mansion, whatever. And then we go to the street, everything was gone. And it was like, okay. And it takes some time once we realize the whole situation. And the stuff was that we went to we entered another house. Everything was absolutely another thing, but that was it. That we went, that we got to the idea, so the whole matrix is simply shutting down, you know. And then the last level was that once you even turn, I mean, in the start, you was like, okay, everything was okay, but once you fall asleep, it was something like somewhere, somehow you open your eyes, you woke up, everything was different. Then it was like in the Matrix. So one room, everything, the whole context was different. And then even this with those streets start to occur. Do you know what I mean? Like the one strip, another, everything was simply another story. And the last situation was like, once you even turn in one room, everything was absolutely in another state. That was a hell out of intense. And then we simply went on the mission, and it was so weird because we was on such very weird. We even can't differ 100% if they were vehicles or aircrafts or whatever. But we went that, that's so weird, because it was like making more and more and more. It was like the very first ones, they were like, I don't know, like from First World War, then Second World War, then like Cold War, then like approximately nowadays, that means like 2020, maybe 15, whatever. And then from much bigger, much further future, and that was it. And everything was written in ancient Sumerian. So okay, super soldiers, ultra soldiers, respectively light soldiers. Okay, I got it. That were my thoughts. And then we went to we were in very weird contexts of existence. I was like, okay, why not? And then it happened That means we went to something very, very strange. I mean, like, that was intense, that was ultimate, that was non plus ultra, because that what we consider as ground, it wasn't ground, it was liquid. And it was like, okay, that doesn't seems to be safe, and that we was at least we was able to determine, aha, we are not inside the huge plane. This is some sort of tank. Germans, they like to call it Panzer. Okay. That's good. You know, something bad serves for good purpose too. And then those very weird cities start to appear in front of us, if you want to call it in front of us, because we weren't able to differ what is in front of us or whatever. And those cities were like the districts was torn apart and made some extreme crazy ass mixture. I don't know, from DC, I mean Washington, from Rio de Janeiro, I don't know, like from London, Paris, Berlin, Rome, or Moscow, whatever, like Tokyo, Sydney, and all kind of those things. It was a random mixture, and I was like, okay, what is that, and simply it went closer and closer as we approached it. It went closer and closer and closer, and to each other, and even we believed that we will not make it. That means it will smash us, to the small piece of trash. We went out to complete another reality. What it was like, oh, that's good, but that wasn't good at all, because we went to show house. Maybe you should explain to our listeners what show house is, because no, I don't want to deal with them.
Well, Peter, I mean, first of all, let me just understand what you were saying, and I want to be very specific. So you're saying that just when you were ready to get destroyed, you were shifted out of that reality. And
if you want to call it reality, because we don't know what it is.
But you were shifted out of that danger by some unseen force or something. So whoever,
it was technically something like those liquid whatever. It was more solid, but it wasn't solid as a solid, and it was like a swimming on something liquid, whatever it was. And something was some of them, they were those solid tables or whatever. They were swimming slow, some of them fast, some of them even like hella fast, some of them even much more slower than we were, the table on we were. And once we were approaching those tables, those very weird ass mixtured cities, mixtured from our context of existence. We were, of course, we were swimming very slow, very slow, but much faster as we were close to them, to those tables. There were those cities, mixture of cities. We started to speeding up very slowly, but speeding, and we were like, holy crap, what should we do? We will be smashed to some small piece of trash. No, that's not good idea. Whoa, what we should do starting with? We simply start to move and all kind of those things, but we were pretty much limited to the to the border of this uh, what it is, what it was.
You mean you're at the border of getting in danger or being pulled out?
No, to the border of this, what it was, of this cove, I mean raft, you know, the block. Let us call it block. So we can't get over the border of the block, right? No, no. And that was it. And then simply, where it almost looks that we will be killed, everything of this disappeared, and we appeared in the show house, in the bar of the show house. But no, I don't want to say bar. It wasn't bar. We went through alley, very luxury alley, and it was in the show restaurant. But let's talk about show house. That's so interesting topic.
Well, the show house is in another context of existence, isn't it? But yet it bleeds through here. Is that because I was in it in a dream?
I go ahead because you've got some history with shows.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've woken up a few times being in dreams of, going from room to room, and it's like you never go outside. It's really weird.
Because you can't go outside.
No. And then there's all these people that you're paired with or brought in to spend time with in these different rooms. But it feels like there's it's very MyLab. Like they're evaluating you. They're trying to figure out what you're doing and gathering information and so forth. So, and I only have a recollection of 2 times of being there, although I've had a lot of weird dreams that are essentially inside a space. But from what I understand what you said, it's like this huge complex that, has restaurants, it has stores, it has, all the basic things like it's almost like
it's hotel too. Very luxurious thing. All kind of those things. The inside the show house, it's very luxurious.
So essentially everything's inside. Yeah.
Only wealthy people can get in there.
But
it's like as I like to call say it, members only club, if you want to. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I wasn't wealthy to get in there, that's for sure. They pulled me in for another purpose.
But fancy house is good too. Those women, they were working in there. They were that was good for them.
So is any of it on the outside, or all parts of it is enclosed in a building?
You mean this reality? Their reality or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, no one really goes outside in any of the rooms.
Oh, yes, of course you can inside. You can go outside, but you need to get through the red room, and get to the through the red room. It's not so easy.
Right.
Because go to the through the red room is technically face to face, and that's it. Your own fear. So it's like how can I say it? Like the level of the pain. Technically, pain, it is the stuff that many people are calling soldiers. Only they they erase their heads,
Their mind, memories.
No, not memories. Their gum, their heads. But technically, it is technically like that. Do you know why? Because they were trained, not normal, regular, but in the special forces, special units, that pain, it's only matter of your mind, that you can wipe out the whole feeling of the pain. There is nothing like pain. No, that's nonsense. Huh? That's it what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. This is in the first place. And in the second place, you need to face the fact that you will be affected by the lust,
Yeah.
And maybe that will be the third topic. What do you think?
Yeah, we could, but I think, it'd be interesting to discuss a little bit about, like you said, you want to still talk about Shaw House, because I mean that had some
Okay.
very interesting things, but
not a big deal. Go ahead.
Well, it's essentially another type of MyLab, right? Like Monarch has. I mean,
Yeah.
essentially, but they're working also with Delphi.
That's it what I'm trying to tell you, because in the Red Room, they need to what? They need to, once you will go to or once you will enter show house, respectively you want to get out of show house, you will go through the Red Room, and Red Room is technically either enter or outer room for Delphi house. Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's illusion.
But let's talk about show's house, or Shaw maybe. Shaw is maybe better.
Shaw House. Yeah.
So what's the thing, or what's the things? What are the things you want to talk about in according to Show House? What do you think, huh?
It's a gateway to this other reality, and I'm wondering why they're pulling people from our reality here to there, and do they plan on taking people as this context, expecting this context to collapse? What is their intention?
It is very easy. Because they disconnect people's minds from people's bodies. It's not so complicated. They disconnect people's minds from people's bodies, and they put their minds into Show's house. There is everything luxurious, everything. Even the poorest people of the world, they will be equal to the richest people of the world.
That reminds me of that movie that came out called Parasite, where it's supposed to be the very poor people move in with the rich people.
But hey, this is it. That's another breakthrough.
Because that won an award. Yeah. Okay, I figured that.
But this is it, and no one will believe me. No one. I don't want to say I profited that. No. But I talked about something like that like 3 or 4 years ago. It's nonsense. I talked even about first foreign language movie to get main Oscar, like for best movie.
Yeah, that's right, you did.
Yeah. Nobody believed me. It was like 2K17, 2K.
I remember that. Yes, I remember. I forgot about that.
Nobody believed me. Nobody. And I talked about I need to be honest. No, I don't. We in ACIO we didn't knew that it will be from South Korea, but we knew at the time that it will be from Asia. Nobody believed me. Nobody.
Yep. And well, I think the Chinese bought a lot of the production companies as well.
No, no,
So
yes, but this
that's
was from Korea. This was from
Korea. Yeah.
South Korea. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's the content. It's the content and the storyline. And see, here's the thing. These things are happening, and ACIO has nothing to do with the film industry, but yet they're putting out this information. The corporations are putting out this information, exposing what they're doing, but since it's in a movie, you think that it's not happening. It doesn't
Yeah, and
exist.
especially once it is not in the movie as a movie, but in either you know book or no novels, or I don't know, like what is it, like novel series, comic series, or TV show on shows, or I don't know, movies, sci-fi genre, right? Nobody will believe that. Not even this is fiction, like normal movies. No, once it is doubled the synergy. As I like to say, 1 + 1 means 3. This is synergy, right?
Yeah.
uh, Not only movie or TV show, but once it is sci-fi, people will it like just throw the hand. It's the
It's
sci-fi.
ridiculous. Yeah, yeah, but even
Yeah.
though we
Mm-hmm.
have some of the technology, like even when I watched Star Wars, Star Trek years ago, or even Star Wars, I mean, eventually over a short period of time, our technology changed and advanced. And
Yeah.
even our phones,
For
cell phones, and,
example,
and
for
everything.
example, for example, for example, will people tell or predict 20 years ago that nowadays we've got smartphones far more, I mean, far faster and more powerful than I don't know, 80 maybe 90% laptops are. Of course, the desktops, the normal computers is the whole different story, but laptops, they are not, I mean, notebooks in Europe, they can't be so fast, so powerful, and that's it. And now, bam, end of story. We are here.
And
you
that
know.
which is the computers, and then the cyborg android, make it, and it's out there. It's out there. They already have these androids, and still people are like questioning whether or not it exists. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. And in Japan, and they look like 100% normal people.
Right.
And do you know what is crazy part of the craziest story? Sorry, I mean craziest part of the crazy story, that in a um, normal situation, normal case scenario, everything is first things first is in military, yeah, military field, military industry, whatever.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
do you know, I mean, it maybe sounds awkward, but that is it how it is. First of those, I mean, real deal androids, they were, how we can call it politely, in fancy houses, so fancy ladies.
You mean
A,
like a house of prostitution of some sort,
no, some sort, exactly. And they
right?
were like absolutely type, I don't know, Asian, European, I don't know, like ebony, I mean, from Africa, black, I mean, what the heck, or Latinas, because Japan people are, uh, they are like they are, into this um, erotic business, and that was it. And once I saw it, and believe me, it isn't like that. It was like 10, maybe 12, or even years ago, or maybe even more. I mean, deeper in the past. And I was first. I mean, I heard about that such clubs, but it was like absolutely. absolutely, and they even don't look like, like real women, real young girls, but they behave so, 100%. And that was the beginning. Let's call it, as I don't know, 90, maybe 95% of inventions started in a military, whatever military field. So those androids, they started first in Japan, and first they were like fancy ladies, let us call it politely, right?
But also
Or
soldiers.
prostitutions.
Right, but they were also soldiers, so
No,
that
no, no,
these
no, no, no,
androids
no,
are
no, no.
soldiers.
Absolutely, okay.
Yeah.
But first outside soldiers. I'm trying
Okay.
to, you know,
Yeah.
first
No, I understand.
of course, they are first of them, they were soldiers, but outside the soldiers, right?
Correct.
Because yes, of course, they very first of the first, they were soldiers, but outside military they were like that. And this thing, like, this is disgusting for me. Why prostitution? That I don't like that.
Well, it's machine.
Are we so
It's
primitive? Are we so
sex
primitive?
with a machine. That to me, that's it. That's all it is. And it's
I mean, are we so primitive? And technically, that's the problem. Why always we are doing always all kind of the stuff into military thing? That once we want to have the biggest of the big inventions, no, nothing, everything is screwed. No, just in the military in the first place, and in the second place, um, you know, it is porn industry, it is sex industry. No, we aren't so primitive. Or maybe that's a question. Are we?
well, I think people are
What do you
getting
think?
they're losing who they are, and it's a spiritual exchange because we're spiritual beings with an object, and I can't help
Do you
but
know?
think about the singularity that's
Yeah, yeah.
probably
And do you know
right
what
around the
is so
corner.
crazy? Do you know what is so crazy? But that few thousands years ago, few millennia, we were so deeply connected with the nature that we can have even owl or fox as a pets. Now, nonsense, nonsense, bullshit. It is impossible to tame a fox or pet.
Right.
Or either, for example, we've got bears as a huge, I mean, real deal. Um, how we can call it, like watch, you know, watch animal, not only normal dog or whatever. I mean, of course, big dog, but strong. But no, we can tame the bears. No, not nowadays. No, it's nonsense.
So we have, I mean, there's so much still that we haven't talked about, Peter, and that's
But
um,
do you have any? Do you have more topics? Because I want to talk. I am ready. I am ready.
okay. So the first place that you go to, like you said, that your vehicle is literally moving on this substance it's not solid. You compared it to liquid or like honey, a thick
Yeah, it
liquid.
was very similar to raw honey. Yeah, yeah, raw. Yeah, yeah, you are
You
right.
saw these beings that you said looked like they were. It was a result of the coronavirus, but they looked like zombies. Like there was some
Uh,
kind of weird reaction or mutation that happened from them.
that's true. That's true.
Can you
That
describe those beings, what they look like?
mm, Very similar. I don't want to say the same, but very similar, like mummy. But like people, they died, and it was after mummification, but not short. No, 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 not like that. Once you are in Egypt, and you discover the mummy. I don't know, like mummy. I don't know, like 4 or 5 thousands years old. Very similar, but so they were completely dry, but with eyeballs. But that was it. Dry eyeballs. It was so disgusting. But that is it. They were dry, but not smaller just because they were dry. Do you know what I mean? They were normal in size, but they were simply dry. Do you know what I mean? Like completely dry.
I mean, the eyes looked like there was no life in them at all.
Yeah. And even the skin, everything was dry, but the whole surface. But they don't get, how can I say, they don't get smaller because they were dry. Everything was normal. The size of the bodies, everything was normal, but they were completely dry. Completely.
Wow.
Yep. And
you said they looked really weird.
Yeah. And the skin color was it was like grayish.
Wood, like wood, almost dried wood, like that color.
Yeah.
Because I saw that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I saw those beings too. I didn't know what they were.
But it was like old wood. I mean, wood of the old, almost died, but not died, but very, very old tree, like that. Something like that. Mm-hmm. So exactly, both of us, we know what we are talking about.
Yeah, that's the only description I can have for it, because, like you said, it had a dry look to it. It wasn't shiny. It didn't look like skin.
They definitely, but the stuff is that they were definitely not slow as zombies. No, they were moving normal, but the stuff is they were sneaky. That means they move normal. Sometimes they simply like, what is that? And then it took some time for us to realize that there were trees, or I don't know if they were trees or whatever, but we were able to look through them, whatever it was, but it hided them. Those, let us call them zombies. I don't know what they were, and some of them, they was almost like Kruger soldiers. They were running hella fast. That was absolutely crazy. Another one of them, they have, I don't know, like from the wrists, they simply shake the hand, and I mean the palm, everything, and from the wrists, either from wrists or from another, from opposite part, those kind of weird arguments, they simply get out and they shoot it. Some sort of, I don't know, it was either laser or I don't know what kind of pulses. It was everything was so weird.
Yeah, you said there was no bullets, or you kept on saying that there was no. The ammo was odd.
Yeah, everything was so weird. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you said that there was a flame burning the city, but it wasn't a normal flame. It was like a azure color.
Well, azure color.
It's a blue-green. Yeah.
Blue-green. Once you've got propane tank or whatever, like once you are to the gas net, connected, and it burnt like that. But do you know what is crazy? That there was no burning. I mean, you can see the burn. How can I say it? You can see the flame, the blaze, but it wasn't flaming. It was like nothing went down, nothing was burned down. It was crazy. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because
Yeah.
once something is flaming, I mean burning, it will change the color, the structure, or whatever. There was, I mean, what? How? It is impossible. This is nonsense. None of this is normal. It's no. So that was another odd thing. Yeah, that was another oddity. That, yeah, that's true.
Then you heard this in we started off talking about certain things, belief systems and so forth, and then you started talking about something about the 9 gates of sin. Don't forget, it was like a weird statement, and then you asked me to look up the word chaos from Nostradamus.
That's true. I mean, no, not word chaos, but all of his prophets, they were dealing with chaos. But no, that's the stuff. Because in ancient Sumerian, they've got 2 words, very similar. Chaos is, let us call it more common, okay? But there is another word. And it is much more close in English, like mayhem. So it is chaos, like total chaos, absolute chaos, absolutely like nothing is working with simply anything at all, okay? Absolute chaos, total, nothing. And that was it, mayhem, you know?
Yep. Yeah, so, well, I, kind of was looking at the word chaos, and then we asked, let's see, in this, I think this, was this it? Yeah, in the city of God, this is quatrain, I don't know which quatrain this is. In the city of God, there will be a great thunder, 2 brothers, because you were hearing thunder there too, 2 brothers torn apart by chaos. While the fortress endures, the great leader will succumb. The 3rd big war will begin when the big city is burning. In 1654, 1654 when he predicted that. So we brought up the 2 brothers, and I asked you, I said, what does this mean? So in the city of God there will be a great thunder, 2 brothers torn apart by chaos while this fortress endures. The great leaders will succumb, and then the 3rd big war will begin with the big city is burning. So this is like not in our context of existence, but kind of it may kind of affect us or echo or a bleed through, like you said, into our reality. What do you think, Peter? Is that what you were seeing, or am I or do you have another explanation?
I think that it is only. That's not good. That's definitely not good idea to tell only in this situation. But it was something like vision of what will happen.
Yeah.
But we can only. No, it is not what will happen. What it is happening in another, no, don't use word reality, in another context of existence, but we can only, we can only hope that it will not affect us.
Right, so that's the part we try to set the intention and pray or send something positive to neutralize it. But the question is, because we talked about the 2 brothers that didn't get along, and you said something about Peter and Paul Parker from that video game. What is it? Call of Duty. And so then you
that's
kind
true.
of
That's true.
That's what you brought up then. but I can't help
because there was this game, and they've got the special task force 141, and there's those. Peter was in US, and Paul got to the UK, you know, and they've got the fight because Paul don't want to obey the rules and commands anymore, because it is like that it is like the NATO, you know, in lead with US and UK, they trained and supported either opposition, rebellions, or official government in all kind of, you know, North Africa, or what is it, like Eastern countries, you know, close or Middle East countries, and then the officials, that means the governments, either governments of DoD, Departments of Defense, they simply decided, okay, we want to support, either to support them, or no, we don't want to support them anymore, or third and the worst case, they are on the blacklist. That means they are officially considered as a terrorists, and Paul simply don't want to be under this what it is, state of commands, you know. That is it. No,
you brought them up, but I can't help but consider, I just want to throw this out there, Peter, is the two brothers that were torn apart, and because one of them just wants to do his own thing, is that possibly Harry and William?
Of course.
Okay. So this could bring in a war, right? I mean, it could.
Yes, of course. But this is it. They look like, they don't look like, and the creators of the game, they don't name them directly.
They call them Peter and Paul.
Yep.
Now, the cities that you saw burn, it was all the cities that were burning, because it was a combination of all the cities together.
Absolutely. But that was it. They blazed, they flamed, but it wasn't normal burning, because the structure, the color didn't change, the structure didn't change. It was like some sort of, also called some Fata Morgana, you know.
Yeah.
Or something like that, you know. It was so weird. It was so weird.
Yeah, but if you looked at the city, it looked like a combination of a bunch of different elements that are in different cities. So it wasn't one city.
That's true.
You said that it was a combination of Moscow,
No,
New York City.
not only one. Many of them.
Yeah, that's what I said. Moscow, New York, Washington, D.C., Boston, Berlin, Rome, Paris, Tokyo, Dubai, pre-USSR states. And probably
Sydney too. I don't know, Rio de Janeiro too. All kind of those. Yep, you are absolutely right. Yeah.
All right, and let's see. Then you saw that all these people were going to die. There was hundreds of millions of people there. And I asked what's happening with. I just thought that city was burning, but I didn't know there were people there. And then you said there were hundreds of millions of people there, something like that.
Yeah, that's true. And they will die. But do you know what was crazy? That because they was drowned, not burnt.
They were drowned?
Yep.
Was there a big flood? Because I don't remember.
But that is bullshit. Because flames and then water. Flame, water. It's bullshit. It's nonsense. But it was how it was.
That's the way
It is.
yeah.
It is exactly the same stuff, like nonsense. Those bleed truths. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
Something what belongs to the water is on the surface. You know, I mean on the ground. Something what belongs underground flies. Yeah, you know, this
Yeah.
is nonsense. No, and something. I mean the cars or whatever. It is. I mean the animals. They are flying. Sorry, they are swimming, and something. You know, I don't know, like a huge car, very heavyweight car. It is driving normal on the surface.
Yeah, and
You
it's
know.
like birds flying backwards and weird things like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Something
Right.
like
So
that.
that's part of the matrix being messed up, chaos.
Yes. No, no,
Yeah,
no, no, no. You are not right. Mayhem. That's
mayhem.
the thing. Because chaos is chaos. Chaos. But mayhem is absolutely, you know.
It's bigger. You're saying
Yeah.
it's worse. Okay.
Yeah. Worse. Yeah. Yeah. You were right.
There was another thing too that which didn't make any sense was this ancient Sumerian books that were huge and or large, like the size of the Codex Giga, like that size. And
Hmm.
they were everywhere. You said all of these books. What did that mean to you?
That was weird because those books technically disappeared in front of our eyes, and they made up themselves to the movies. And I don't want to say movies, let us call it video footages.
And you could see the video footages of what it was.
It was technically, it wasn't normal video footages. It was like pre-arranged movies.
And who do you think created that?
That's a hella good question. I don't know.
It's like they expected you to go there and see all of this, and then
Yeah, yeah. It's a clue. Another part of the clue.
yeah.
Something what is part of the pattern.
Are some of these prophecies of what's happening? Is that the reason why it's Sumeria that's coming up because it's coming from that time period where they predicted it, or is there some other reason why?
And it's also the location. It's Syria, Iraq. You know, Iraqi. You
Hmm.
know, this what is it? This part of the world. You know. Everything is connected. No, there is. If someone tells me it's coincidence, no, nothing like coincidence exists. No, it's nonsense.
You talked about something. Well, we mentioned this earlier, the 9 gates of sin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What does that mean to you? Is this like the 7 deadly sins, or is this related to you?
But why they are two another whatever? Because 7, I know about the 7, but what's the 9?
I don't know. It says 9 gates of sin.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
can look it up and see if there's any ratings on it. So there's also an Anunnaki by the name
Yeah,
of Sin,
that's true.
right?
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dante's Inferno talks about the
Yeah,
nine
that's
circles of hell. Yeah,
Oh, how can I be so stupid and ignorant? Of course they are.
9 circles of hell.
Nine what? Nine
Circles of hell.
circles of hell. Cheap.
Yeah.
And to each circle, you need to pass the entrance. Entrance is the gate, and with entrance you can get to a trance. Do you know what I mean? Trance, like hypnosis.
Right.
Like hypnosis.
But that sounds like Shaw House, because you go through those gates, those rooms, and you can
Oh,
get
no.
entranced.
Oh,
You can get
no.
them, right?
And Shaw House is nonagon. Nona, I mean like none. 9, you know? No.
Oh,
So you can go to the show house from 9 gates. No.
so that's it.
No. Oh no.
So, yeah, I'm not surprised.
Because I mean maybe for people, you know, but that's it. People at least can hear that this is pre-recorded, but we didn't arrange anything, you know,
No,
because
we just figured this part out. So,
technique,
yeah,
as I like to say, process in progress. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so the popes of Avignon, you also talked
Yes.
about that.
Yeah,
Everything
that's
is mixed together, you said.
Yes.
What happened there?
What do you mean? What happened?
What did you see? Because it was hard for me to understand what you were seeing when you were mentioning the popes were all together.
Okay. Sorry. There in Avignon is this huge castle. It was like, how we can call it, like the popes. They were in Avignon, right? They were in this castle, and most of historians, they are specializing about the Christian about Christian church, and especially about this time, you know, they believe that it is very evil, and not just from, how can I say it, some sort of some legend or whatever, but there were very evil, I don't want to say spirit, but some sort of power or whatever, powers, I don't know, you know, something, you
Yep.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And you shouldn't go in there and that's it. Only very small amount of insight of it. Like, I don't know, like, I even no, definitely not 20. I don't know, like between 10 or 15% is accessible for the public, because nobody knows what is in there. We were through there, and even our insiders don't want to talk about that. And that's it. Once our insiders don't want to talk about that.
Are you referring to the Shaw House or the Gates of Hell?
No. Once you don't get it, absolutely. I am talking about the castle in Avignon.
In Avignon, okay.
Where popes were, okay?
Did it created some kind of weird reality inside there?
That was so crazy. Yep.
And you said that they were all together.
But I don't know. We don't know what is. It was so weird. You know, it was in 14th century, between 13th 9 and 1378. Just for, you know, for official record. And
Yeah.
this palace is, this energy is very bad. Even people, they are non-sensitive, and even skeptics people from scientific circles, believe me or not, they were not okay with that. I mean, weird sounds. The weirdness of energy. They were not comfort. They were wiped out of their comfort zone. Nah.
Right. Wow. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we still have more to
No.
talk
Once
about.
you are okay, then go ahead. Once you are okay with time, no, not a single problem for me.
Well, I thought
Just tell me.
I'm just reading through some of the notes because. All right. So then the third, I believe it's the third conversation.
Yeah.
You get affected by Delphi House. Well, someone
Perfume.
shows up that looks
Perfume.
like Erica. Someone
Yeah.
shows up that looks like Erica.
Perfume. Yeah. And I didn't felt normal. Of course, I didn't felt okay because everything was like nothing for me. Everything was funny, like that was like that. Yeah, I know.
But they were trying to. You said these flies were
Yeah,
feeding you,
yeah, yeah.
and they were but they were large, like birds.
No, not bird. Yeah, I mean like yes, like small birds, like between half inch and 1 inch. That means like from 13 to 25 centimeters, maybe to 1.5, 2 inches. Yeah, like big ass flies.
Yeah, or
Was
like a hummingbird size.
like what?
A hummingbird size.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, you were right.
All right, so, and then you said they were serving you food. They were moving plates. They were doing some things. It was really
Yeah,
hard to understand.
with spoons and everything. That was so weird. And the food was delicious, really delicious. But technically, I don't think it was delicious because it was technically, as it was said in Matrix, just electrical signals interpreted by your brain. So I really don't know what I did. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you seem like you were very drugged, almost.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I can remember that was like what? No. Yes, you are absolutely right. Yes, that's true.
And then you had they wanted to feed you this black soup that was you compared it to this black snake from Australia.
Red belly black snake. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. Black soup, and it smells, and I almost taste it, but it's like Then the consistency, it went from normal soup to something like asphalt once it is not solid. So like no, it was disgusting. I don't want to eat that. So that was a warning because I don't know what will happen to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep. And so I remember that you were, like I said, you were deeply affected by that. And I don't know if you ever want to share those conversations that you and I had at that time.
I don't know if you want. Why the hell not?
It's up to you, and we can review it. Like
Why the hell not?
Yep. And so that people could see the different variations of what you actually experienced on this mission. This mission was very, like, you go into a place of the unknown, and then on top of that, it's constantly moving and changing, so there's no predictability, and just, here we are, like, not every single hour, but obviously talking off and on, and, I could see that you were very disoriented, you weren't sure about the date, and trying to guess when the day.
And time, yeah, it was
Yeah.
like, you are right.
At one time you thought you were going to die, you weren't going to get out of there. It sounded pretty.
That's true.
It was very stressful for the both of
Yeah,
us.
I know, I can remember that I was very skeptic, pessimistic. Yeah, I know that.
And I was worried enough about you, Peter, that I was like, who do I contact? Like I don't know your wife, I don't know your family members or anything. If anything happens, I was like, I really didn't know what to do, and so I was worried. I was
And
worried about you.
I was so mentally, stressed that I was like, no one will everyone will be happy without me, and everything like that. I know it. Yep.
Yep. So I mean, we had all of that, and so
I know that.
maybe if people are interested in hearing what we've been through the past couple of weeks. It's been so stressful, and I don't like it's still stressful because I know that it's in our background that this stuff is still going on, and we need to really shift the tide. And I know we have some amazing people that listen to the show and have an incredible sense of their own personal connection to the universe and their belief systems and so forth.
Yeah, but technically this is it. We ask them for help.
Yeah.
Because if not here, and if not now, then I don't want to say we will be screwed, but as much more people will help, will even either pray or meditate or whatever. If you have your own belief system, just do it, just go for it. And once again, just share this video all over the all possible social media, because it's important.
It's important now. Keep in mind, like I said, Peter is giving us information. It might be I don't know the length of time. I know that there seems to be a consistent lapse of a year, but it's something like this could escalate. We don't really know. So we really want the information to be shared, and people not to be in a panic, but the more people that we have holding the highest intention for this, and that it shifts whatever is trying to come up into our reality. And like I said, they're trying to play out this whole thing with the royal family and the brother against brother, and you have two powerful young men.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that know the ins and outs of technology and military, and both of them are highly trained. And
Absolutely.
So it presents a whole other issue, and don't ignore the signs. Like I'm seeing a lot of stuff. I found some really interesting things.
But that's a problem. That's a problem. I don't want to say ignore the science, but that's a problem, because with believers, any kind of religion or people, they build their own belief system. Most, I don't want to say all of them, but most of them, they are at least they've got, as I like to say, room for discussion. They want to discuss. People from, I don't want to say once again, not all people, but most people from scientific circles, from scientific environment, no, they don't want to discuss. And that's it. As I don't know how many, but the most people from religious environment, you can discuss such things with them. That means, I don't know, like 97, 8, maybe 99%. And this like 1, 2, I don't want to say 3, 1 or 2%. No, they are, so orthodox, they You can't simply talk with them. But in a scientific environment, it is the same, but vice versa. So you can talk, you can discuss, but only when 1, 2, and 3 persons at the most. All of them, another of them, the you know, the big majority, no. They don't want to even to start a discussion. For them, you are fool. No, they don't want to talk about that.
Right.
And just for one very important thing, I think that will be that way maybe will be end of the show. We've got all twos, people. February 22nd, 2020.
Yeah, lots of twos.
Yeah,
Lots
symbolic,
of twos.
symbolic.
Yes.
Yeah, that's symbolic.
What did the twos mean to you, Peter?
It's a gate.
Yeah.
Gate to the new discussion. That means it will shift us. And I believe that with enough power, that means enough power of helping us, that people will helping us, and of course with our once we inside in ACIO, inside of NCIO, we will do our best. I'm pretty much sure that it will be shift to good, very good thing. I think very good, another good context of existence. I don't want to say good, much better than we are here right now.
I agree. And that's why we do this, because we're not just bringing in the problems. We want to provide solutions.
Yes, because only bring in the problems only, and no, let us call it that way. Drafts, like no plans of solving them. It will be destructive critics, but we've got constructive critics in the most cases.
Absolutely. And also, like, I think you know how to direct your intention as well. If you have an insider idea of what's going on in the deeper levels of our context of existence, then, because of the type of missions and the works that Peter and the ACIO are doing, Peter the Insider, then we can gather this information and then direct our intention on healing the problem. But I mean, of course, there's a lot of things that are happening, but this gets deeper into the root of it. So we have
absolutely
time.
True. You are absolutely true. And I think that's a good point when we can where we can stop the show. That's good last thing.
Yeah. So this is perfect, Peter. Thank you. Thank you for your time, and I know that it's been one hell of a 2 weeks for you. I got a glimpse of that roller coaster, and it's not easy. It's very difficult, as a matter of fact. I can't imagine being in your situation, not knowing what's going to happen next. And so, but I'm glad that you're here. I knew that you would be back here and able to share with us everything that we need to know. So we're going to keep you updated, all of you that are listening, and remember the highest intention for humanity. And thank you, Peter. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for room and space you gave me, as always do. Thank you.
Okay, so until the next time, thank you for listening, and we will be back with disclosures.
You have been listening to Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Morocco. Join us on YouTube channel Jessica Ariel Morocco and visit www.peter-insider.com and www.readingsbyariel.com. Remember to post your questions in the comment section below the video. We look forward to hearing from you.